Hello, everyone. Garrett here from Real Watchers.
And Kevin.
And of course, we're here to do another video. We had a lot of fun doing the movie theater concessions tier list, which you can now see live on the channel. So we thought we would do another one, slightly different and more in tune with what our channel likes to do, and that's talking about the Spider-Man movies. So, Kevin, what's your history with the Spider-Man movies? And you, like me, have seen all of them.
Correct. I have.
So, are you pretty pumped to kind of talk about this a little bit today? Do you have some some zesty opinions?
I might have some zesty opinions. I really like MCU stuff, so anything MCU I'm perfectly fine with. Even like the Marvels, I found the good in the Marvels. So I'm okay with people disagreeing with me, but I like when people agree with me. So we'll go from there, but there might be some zesty ones in here. I mean, and I haven't watched some of them recently, so I will let you know that.
Fair enough. Well, I figure we should just go in terms of series from oldest to newest, and kind of trilogies and kind of things like that. So up first, we have Spider-Man 1 from, I believe, 2001 or 2002, somewhere around there.
Mr. Raimi himself. So the first one with Green Goblin. Kevin, what do you think about this one? It's got to go high A.
High A. Okay.
High A tier. I mean, it started off... 3 movies came after this. Obviously, it had to be good. And the friendship between Toby and Oscorp's son, and I don't remember his name for some reason.
James Franco?
Yeah, his character. What's his name?
Osborn. I forget his name. Oh man, this is gonna kill me. Let me look.
But their dynamic relationship was really cool, and it kind of sets up some other stuff that happens in the following movies, which is also really good.
Harry Osborn was the name.
Harry, yeah. So that's why I think it is an A tier.
Okay. I think it's a B tier.
Okay.
I think we get much better stuff a little bit down the road.
Down the road in the same franchise.
Just in general. So that's where I'll leave it for now. But I say B tier, you say A tier. So
we'll see where everything else goes.
Yeah, we can move it when we're done. So we'll put it in A tier for now.
Oh, you can put it in B tier. You can put it in B tier.
Okay.
We'll see.
Alrighty, next up is Spider-Man 2 with Doc Ock.
Again, I think this is A tier.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I think there's more things going on with Harry. Doc Ock looks amazing in this movie. Wait, no, Doc Ock's in the first one too. No,
Doc Ock's in the second one.
Never mind. Yeah. Really great, and there's 2 premises. I think there's 2 villains in this movie, right?
No, it's just Doc Ock.
What? Where? Okay, well,
there's later ones will have more villains.
Well, no. I meant, like, when does Harry die?
The third one.
Spoiler alert. Oh, okay. So, okay. I'm good with it in A.
I think it's an S tier.
Really?
I think Spider-Man 2 is one of the best superhero movies ever. Yeah, I think the way that it tells its story, the struggles he goes with, absolutely fantastic.
These are the ones that I have not seen in a while. So,
gotcha.
They are not fresh in my mind, as are the other ones that we're going to be talking about.
All right. We'll put it in A tier for now, but I think it's an S tier.
Okay.
Spider-Man 3. This is the one with Venom and Sandman and Harry Osborn as a glider ripoff.
Yep. It's got, I think, C.
You're saying C?
I think C. There's a meme that comes from this, and I absolutely love the meme. There's like several memes actually in this movie. I'm thinking high C, low B.
All right. I'm thinking D, but
okay.
This movie is not good. Not for any reason on like Raimi or anyone. It's totally studio interference with this. They shoved Venom in, and it could have been so much more better of a story with Peter coming to grips because we found out that Sandman, again, spoiler, Sandman actually killed his uncle. So, like, there could have been much more of a deep emotional story there, but they just had to shove in Venom, and it just doesn't work.
I understand that. And then, again, these are the ones I have not seen recently. So, refresh. If you think it is a D, put it in D. I'm cool with that.
Alrighty, next up is The Amazing Spider-Man, the first one with our good friend Andrew Garfield.
Yeah, because we know him. We can call him our good friend. He's not my favorite Spider-Man, but he is a great... No, I'm sorry. Other way around. He is not a good Peter Parker. He's a great Spider-Man because of how he acts in the suit without seeing his face. I will say that. I'm going to put it in C.
That's exactly where I was going to put it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I do feel like we'll get to that. Never mind. We'll get to that later. Keep going.
All right. Next up, Amazing Spider-Man 2.
I think it's I don't know. It's high D, low C.
High D, low C?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just because something pivotal happens in this movie that gets brought up in another movie that is much better. And there's two characters. There's two villains in this one, right?
There's several. there's the Green Goblin. There's Electro. There's the Rhino.
There's too much stuff going on.
Yeah.
And Electro could have looked a little bit better. I like his all blue and everything.
Well, that's a comic accurate appearance for the Ultimate version. That's
true. That's true. But it just didn't feel comic accurate, if that makes sense. The head scene from Rhino is pivotal CGI right there. So there's too much stuff going on. But I'm not going to say I liked this death, but the toll that it had when Gwen dies is really good in how Andrew portrays it as Spider-Man. So that's where I would put it.
Okay. I would put it in F tier. I think it's if we had a dog shit tier, it would be there. It is awful.
Okay.
It is
horrible. Put it in F. No,
put
it in F because we'll talk about it. I think it might. Okay, keep going. No, keep going because this is the ones that I enjoy the most. These next ones coming up.
All right, Homecoming.
Homecoming, I think, is a high C tier.
High C tier? Okay.
Yes. It just introduces you to the new Peter Parker, which is now played by Tom Holland. You get to know his little quirks. You get to see Tony in this. Tony's in this one. Yeah, you get to see Tony again in this one. But the villain is just okay. Spider-Man is like the main character, woohoo, we all know. But you get to see how his personality is, and that's what I liked about it. I think he has better movies though.
Okay, I would actually probably put this in low B tier, but I feel like high C tier is fine. Sure.
Okay.
Next one up is Far From Home.
I put this in B tier.
Where in B tier? Above the original or below the original?
I would say above the original.
Okay.
I like Mysterio as a villain in this because of, he gets played by I don't want to mess up his name. What's his name?
Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah, thank you. Jake very well. And the Mysterio aspect of it is awesome. And it has a good backstory to him having a backstory. And he gets to finally kiss MJ, and then it's funny stuff goes on with Ned and MJ and everything. But I feel like it's a more complete story than the first Tom Holland Spider-Man movie. And you get a little bit more enjoyment out of it.
Yeah, I actually really like this one a lot. I think that the Mysterio sequence is easily one of the best Spider-Man scenes ever. It's so
Yes.
comic accurate and it's so well done. I loved it.
Yeah.
I do think it does have a couple of struggles, but I feel like high B, perfectly fine. I would rather watch it than the original Spider-Man, 100%.
Yeah, I would too.
All right, next up, No Way Home.
This is an S tier for me.
Okay, and
it just
why do you say that?
it brings everything that the other Spider-Mans have. Spoiler alert: the other two Spider-Mans are in this movie.
Everyone has seen this movie that cares about it. So
I have to put that out there. Doctor Strange is really good in this movie for the time that you see him, but Tom Holland's Peter Parker grows from this movie, and you can see that because of the other Spider-Man's losses in this movie. And I haven't watched this one probably since it came out, but after it came out. And I still feel like this one hits me the hardest out of all the Spider-Man movies.
Okay.
All the villains are cool in this one as well. You get like cameos in them. So
sure. If I was going to place this, I would say it's an A tier below Spider-Man 2, just because I think that it's a little too fan baity. Like it's a lot of they're not cameos, they're important parts to play in the movie, but it's a lot of like, hey, look who we got back, instead of like really kind of focusing on telling a story. Like it does tell a really emotional story, obviously, and it's important for the multiverse part of this saga. But I think
this movie start the multiverse, correct? If
I'm
not mistaken.
Not really. It's a mixture of this and Loki.
But Loki's not a movie. Loki's a TV show.
It's still important to the MCU, though.
I know, but like people thought of, say they don't have Disney Plus, but they went to go see No Way Home. They could understand the multiverse just by watching this movie.
Sure. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Like it's probably the first one that deals with the multiverse. Like deals with it, but I wouldn't say it starts it.
Yeah.
For sure.
Okay. I understand that. Yeah. I like how you worded that.
But to kind of place it kind of in between where you put it, we'll say top of A tier.
That's perfect. I'm cool with that.
All right. Next up, Into the Spider-Verse, the first animated Spider-Man movie.
S tier.
Yep. No arguments.
Yeah. No arguments. I mean, the way it looks, and I want to know if you know this fact that about the animation.
Probably, but let's see it.
How Miles Morales is 12 frames per second, and then when he starts to actually know how to use his powers, he goes to 24 frames per second.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. And Gene, because I watched that on what's it called, The Corridor Crew, and after them explaining that, it makes perfect sense why that is happening.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. After that is Across the Spider-Verse.
For me, it's gonna go below No Way Home. I still think it is a beautiful movie. A lot of stuff is happening, and I have to see part 2, because if part 1 is this good and part 2 is as good as it is, it will be an S tier. But watching them together, it would be an S tier.
Okay. I personally would put it right next to Into the Spider-Verse. I think both of them are exactly the same in terms of how good they are. I don't think one is better than the other.
Okay.
It's just continuing the second chapter of a larger narrative that is being done so well.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it does. I'm just gonna say it. I think it does the multiverse part better than No Way Home.
Okay. No, that's fine with me. I'm okay. I'm okay with that. No, put it in S. I'm okay with it.
Okay.
Yeah, because of what you were saying about it.
Sure.
Again, because I haven't watched Into is it Into? Yeah, Into the Spider-Verse. I more recently than I did Spider-Verse. No. Okay. What's the first movie?
Into the Spider-Verse is first. Across the Spider-Verse is second.
Okay, Across. I haven't watched Across after the theaters, but I have
Oh, okay.
watched into
Gotcha.
before. Okay.
All right. So that is our initial placements here.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Now, if you watched our movie theater concessions one, you'll know that we have a veto system.
Mm-hmm.
And this is, we do these after we do the initial placements. Do you have a veto? I have one.
You go first then, because I might have to veto your veto.
No Way Home's an F tier. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah. If there's anything that I need to veto here, Spider-Man 2 is an S tier. I'm sorry, it just is. It is such a good movie, beyond being a superhero movie. And my reasoning for that is just, again, the characters, the emotional storytelling, how he overcomes his web block, how you could say, and how he leaves to be Spider-Man. Doc Ock is a great villain, obviously. They brought him back. And the late, great Roger Ebert said that this was one of the best superhero movies that he had ever seen. And so I think it belongs in S tier.
Okay.
In relation to the other movies here.
Yeah. I don't know if I have a veto, because Spider-Man 2 I have not seen in a very long time. So
okay.
And I agree with you. I would agree with you if I watched this again. I would probably put it in S tier because of everything that has happened. I don't have a veto, I don't think.
I was curious. What did you think that I was going to veto that you were going to undo? Because you said that you may have to veto my veto.
I thought you were going to probably put what's it called? No Way Home in B.
No. I definitely I'm not saying I don't like No Way Home.
Mm-hmm.
I just think that it's just not. It's not like a plus movie, Like it doesn't. Mm-hmm. It's not a perfect film. It's got issues, and so I think that's what kind of holds it back for me just a little bit. But
gotcha.
And again, the multiverse was done better in the Spider-Verse films. So,
sure.
I mean, obviously, it's not as impactful for the MCU, but
mm-hmm.
We'll see. But so no other vetoes here.
Nothing that I can see. No.
Sure. I mean, if there was anything that I was going to move, I would probably put Homecoming in the bottom of B tier, but that's really pulling straws. And I think top of C tier is fine. It's just a fine movie. It is way better than the first Spider-Man with Andrew Garfield, though.
And I agree with that, but nothing kind of sticks to me, if that makes sense, because MJ is not really his MJ yet, as in Spider-Man
in
1
the others.
In the others, the villain is just okay. He's cool looking, don't get me wrong, but it's mostly building up Tom Holland's Spider-Man.
Yeah,
and it does that really nicely. But everything else is kind of not thrown to the side, but is on the back burner.
Yeah, totally get that. But alrighty, well, that is our tier list for the Spider-Man movies. I'm sure some of you have some really loaded opinions and would love to share those in the comment section down below. So go ahead. Just remember to be respectful of one another and of us. And these are our opinions at the end of the day. Film is art. Everyone looks at art differently. So maybe you're the one Spider-Man 2 defender out there, or Amazing Spider-Man 2 defender out there. That's all right. We'd love to hear why down in the comment section down below. But that'll be it for this tier list. Make sure.
I actually have a question, Garrett. I have a question.
Sure.
Who is your Spider-Man? Your top. We only have 3. Rank your 3.
This is hard because they all bring so many things to the table. My appreciation for Garfield has gone up, but I think that's because of No Way Home. I still have to say Tom Holland. Tom Holland is the best mix of Peter Parker and Spider-Man. If you're going to have a character that plays both, it's like Bruce Wayne and Batman. You need someone who can play both. And Tom Holland plays both very, very well. I think that Tobey Maguire is a good Peter Parker. That timid, kind of more scientific kind of nerd. And he's not the best Spider-Man with how he kind of talks and just the jokes and quips and stuff. But on the opposite side is Andrew Garfield. I think Andrew Garfield is an amazing, no pun intended, Spider-Man, but he suffers as Peter Parker. He's just not as interesting in the first two movies as Peter Parker. He's more like an indie movie teenager, and like it's not the best.
With Andrew, I feel like when he's Peter Parker, he doesn't feel comfortable without the Spider-Man mask on. When he puts a Spider-Man mask on, he feels a lot more comfortable. He can do anything because his face is covered up. And that's what I feel like. He's very timid when he's Peter Parker. So I would put him last, but I love how the way he reacts in the Spider-Man suit. And then it would go to Toby and Holland. So one Holland, Toby, and Garfield.
And it's just also worth it to mention that Holland is the right age, at least appearance-wise. Peter Parker is supposed to be a teenager. He's not supposed to be like an adult. Like, and obviously you can have adult versions that show up later and help him, but like it's supposed to be a teenager. And I feel like they just nailed it on the head with Tom Holland. I know people are going to disagree with me, but it's just the way it is.
I agree with you.
But I'm not saying other people. But anyhow, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to us here on Real Watchers, because we do have our weekly live stream that goes live every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, where we talk about movie news, reviews, and so much more. We also have our weekly show, Movie Club, that comes out on Fridays, where we analyze the top 250 of IMDb and Letterboxd, and are they really worth it? That's the kind of question we ask for those. But thank you again so much for watching. We'll see you next time here on the Real Watchers channel. And until next time, keep those eyes on the screen.